Hello, everyone. For people that know me and people that don't, my name is Darrell Najee Hampton. I'm the founder and CEO of Najee Production, which is a labor team that I set up to provide service for entertainment events. And what we are on now is Najee Talks, where we receive topics from people and then we have them come on to the show and discuss said topics. And today we have Miles Clarke.
Hello, I'm Miles Clarke. I am an actor, writer, playwright, and I'm very excited to be working with my brother, Darrell. He is my assistant director in a show that I have written called Sadie's Boys, which opens May 4th and May 5th at 3 o'clock at the New American Theater in Hollywood. Check out our social media pages for tickets, and we hope to see you there.
Okay, now we begin. So the topic we will be discussing is religion versus non-religion practices. So the first question will be, what kept you in or guided you away from religion? Did you speak first? And what kept you in religion?
Well, my thing is not religion. You may call it religion, but my thing is it's more than a religion. It's a way of life for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised in the church where my grandfather was my very first pastor, and he had a little church, and we had to do everything. The only thing I had to do was to be usher, but we was in the choir and everything. So when you're little like that, that's all you know. But when you grow up and you start to go through your own trials, you depend on what you're taught, and you reach out for God. And God has He kept me through a lot of stuff that I've been through, and I know that He's real. So it's not a religious thing for me anymore. It's the truth. It's the truth, and some people don't believe in God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit and all that stuff, but I do, and I feel that it's real, and I know it's real. So it's not a religious practice. It's just my truth.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I grew up Christian as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was involved in everything growing up. I didn't have like family ties to churches, but I was in the usher.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the choir. We had a step team at one point. I was in the step team. I basically did anything that I could.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, but it was more so just, I guess, those activities that I enjoyed more than the actual service of things. And as I was growing up, I was very curious about religion, and I wasn't getting the answers I needed. It wasn't that I went against it, but it was just the fact that I didn't have those questions. So then it left kind of like a hole there for me. And then so as I grew up and everything, and then when I attended Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama, HBCU love, I ended up kind of branching out and exploring other religions. I have a friend who was Buddhist all her life, who brought me into a Buddhist meeting. And so in the Buddhist meeting, I learned that it was more internal than external. And it was more you're going to look at yourself and your responsibilities and the things that you've done for yourself as a whole. And not that, and then it's like you're not relying on other people as an outward way of sorts, more so just internally. And so since that happened, I began just doing the mantras that they do for Buddhism. And just since then, it's been nothing wrong going on with me. It's just like, it seems like everything's just been going better and better. But then I've also been reading other religious books as well. One of the ones I've been reading recently is the Moorish American version of the Quran, which talks about the basically that time period of Jesus' life when he's 18 to 33. And so it's just parables that Jesus talks about things and explains like the knowledge he's learned, through Allah. And then he even explains that Allah is eternal. He doesn't go out for it; he just stays inside. And so that's so I just been maybe more so like on that route than anything else.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of a lot of people are stuck into the traditions of their church.
Right.
My church is very traditional, very traditional.
Mm-hmm.
There's some stuff I don't agree with, and there's a lot of stuff I do agree with.
Right.
But I think the most mistake that a lot of people do in the church, they look for the pastor to be the answer.
Right.
They don't. A lot of people don't have a relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
They look to the pastor as they idolize him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I have such an advantage with my grandfather being a pastor, because at church he was grandpa, in the pulpit pastor, and at home he was grandpa.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like
he
was human.
Right. Yeah.
He was a great man. He wasn't perfect, but he was one hell of a grandfather. So I don't idolize any of my pastors. I had 4, and I'm on my 4th one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't idolize none of them because they're all men. They're all human.
Right.
And I look past them. I respect them and I admire them, but it's different from putting them on a pedestal. When I'm in trouble, I go to God myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that God is, the being. You have to go to Him, and it might be, your way. You was doing the Buddhist way, or whatever way you chose to do, and that's between you and Him. And just like what I'm doing between me and Him is between me and Him. So I don't judge anybody from going the non-traditional way. That's their journey, and my journey. I came to know God for myself.
Right.
So I don't rely on. I don't even go to Sunday school. I'm like, because I just feel like I need to know God for myself, and I really had an experience with Him like a year ago. I was asleep and kind of half sleep. You know how you think you dreaming, but you actually your mind is kind of awake.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a pain on the side of my stomach, and I kept I said, in the name of Jesus, just go away, and it was like I went to a trance. It was like, and I said, God, show me what I want to do in my life. Show me what do you want me to do in my life. And He said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to act. He said, well, go forth. And when He said that, I just had this vision. He was taking me. I was flying around the world, mind you. I think I'm dreaming. And I went through. It was this tree, and I went through it, and that was it. So when I talked to a prophet about it, he was saying, that was an experience. And I told him about the tree, and he was saying that symbolized growth and prosperity. So, but anyway, so I don't know if I'm making sense, but all I'm saying is I don't look towards man. I look towards God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. In my darkest times, and because the Trinity is what keeps me going.
To piggyback back on when you were talking about idolizing leaders. So growing up, we were taught that way, to have these are the leaders, this they did great. It's his story, so they give him the good stuff, all the positivities. So as I got older, I always be ignorant growing up. So then when I got older, things start, opening up my eyes to things. I'll do really deep posts. So I did a post about Mahatma Gandhi and him being racist towards African Americans. And so the thing is, then I have a friend who's Indian who commented on it, so we went back and forth about it. And then so she was just saying but you can't just knock off every other leader because every leader is not perfect. And then I was like, okay. So after that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Nobody's perfect, So and then when I was at Tuskegee, I studied the history of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And so we learned the darkest hours of these people.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned that they weren't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about the whole thing with Malcolm X in jail, and how in jail, and him having a homosexual experience and stuff in jail and stuff, and then him being a crackhead and everything else, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Martin Luther King being a player, having a sidekick.
Mm-hmm.
And but he started off like that. He was in college. They had started a club based off being a player.
Mm.
He was already like that. So then when he had got more out of it, then of course he's not gonna just stay faithful.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be what it is though. But they don't show that.
No, they don't. But that's a mistake that we all do.
That's true.
And they wasn't perfect.
Right.
I know about Malcolm. I didn't know about Malcolm being homosexual before I didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know about Martin cheating on Coretta.
Yeah.
But I remember my 7th grade teacher was like, Miles, because I made a comment about Martin Luther King. He was like, well, he cheated on his wife. And I was in 7th grade. I was like, so? I'm like, everybody, I said, people cheat. So, but he was still a good man.
Right.
He was still a good man. Malcolm was still a good man.
Yeah.
Barack Obama, we don't know all the shit he did.
Exactly. But the thing is like, how you have to see it. You just can't be biased, and then what I'm saying, right? It's just like be like, oh well, he did that, so I don't like him no more. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just take them as they are. Like everybody has their issues. But
Right.
the thing is, what they did for people was the important thing. So you're like, yeah, he did. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, he did those things, but he still was a great person.
Right. Because I'm not perfect.
Right. Nobody's perfect.
I'm gonna cuss you out in a minute. Yeah, piss me off. But I don't try to go out of my way to hurt people.
Right.
But if I feel attacked or disrespect,
Yeah.
that Taurus will come out and fuck you up. Am I allowed to cuss? I'm sorry. Anyway.
No, I haven't figured that out yet,
but yeah, so nobody's perfect. Even our parents.
Parents ain't perfect at all.
Grandparents not perfect.
Nope.
There's some stuff both my grandmothers do. I'm like, what? God damn it.
You got all the juice when you're older though. You definitely got all the juice.
Yeah.
You be telling me so much stuff now. You like, oh, okay.
Yeah. sometimes they turn back into kids. You like, what the fuck? Like, did she just really do that? Yeah. So nobody's perfect.
Right.
The only perfect, in my opinion, is Jesus Christ and God.
Mm. Oh, speaking about that Jesus Christ thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we know about the whole thing about the white Jesus thing being just the painter's cousin or something like that, and it wasn't like really a thing. But besides that, so how I see it is, Jesus was a person that practiced spirituality, right? And then he grew that way and became spiritually advanced into what is called a Christ level. And then so the Christ level is basically what we should be focusing on getting to. So that's what it should be about. It should be about trying to get to that level that he was at, and not just worshiping him for what he is, whatever. So it should be like okay, this is the blueprint for you guys to use. But the thing is, it's been watered down and changed up so much nowadays that it's hard for people to follow. But how you should really, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I see it as. I see that everybody has their own journey to go. Because he had his journey. And then everybody that's significant in any religion, as a Messiah, they had their own journeys. So the thing is, we should have our own journeys and follow and go through those journeys. And build as we can. You know what I'm saying? But build with morals. You know what I'm saying? And standards. And that's what we should have. And the thing is, I like that which comes from these books. They all have the same similar laws and morals and standards, and that's what we should base our life on, and then go on from there.
Well, I understand your take on it, but how my take on it, and it's just my belief. I believe that he is the Son of God who came here to save the world. And while he was here, those 33 years of his life, he did prepare us for his death with all his miracles and everything, and basically he died to save all of us from our sins, and he lives. You know, it's so ironic that this is Holy Week, but so he was to me, he was holy, but in a physical body. He felt all the temptations though, because he was in his physical body, but he overcame them through prayer and fasting and stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right. And then you're right about how it's all a journey, and you know, some people are further ahead, some people are not. But it comes back to my saying, for my personal belief, I have a personal relationship with him. So when I need him, I can call him. And he works it out all the time. It's like with this play. Every time I do a play, I get stressed out. But it always come together. And, I be praying, man. Like, and that's why they say prayer is so powerful, because when you pray from your heart, it's like, man, that's like the best thing you can do. Because once you've done that, you believe yourself, but then you know that he heard you and he'll work it out for your good. So some people just believe that Christ is just a man who did parables and all that stuff. But my belief, he's the Savior, and he's a brother, and he's a brother that's still closer than your mother. I said that wrong. But anyway, he's someone who's still closer to your brother. That's what I was supposed to say. But you're right. History has painted him to be white, and anybody who knows he's from African people, like he was black.
Right.
Black man.
Right.
And everybody was black.
Right.
In the Bible.
Everybody was.
But that's how white folks are. They just trying to take everything we got.
Exactly.
Anyway, but anyway,
here nor there.
Yeah, here nor there. But he was black. He is black. It says it in the Bible.
Right, right there.
Yeah. So.
All right. So something else I want to ask about. All right. So do you believe that heaven and hell is more of a mindset or something that you prepare for post life?
It's not a mindset. I believe there is heaven, and I believe there's a hell. Because my family's we're very spiritual, and I have dreams about people who passed away, and I really believe I get, like, those are my visits. Now, some people that I know see their loved ones like in broad daylight, like their spirits actually come to them. Not me. So in my dream, I dreamed about my godmother, my great-grandmother who died when I was 4. Like, I would get visits from her. Never see my grandfather, but I was told by a psychic. I went to a psychic. I was told by a psychic that his spirit protects me from a lot of stuff. Like, he's like my personal guardian angel. But back to my great-grandmother. When my great-grandmother died, my grandmother was depressed. She was depressed. My great-grandmother was old, but she died suddenly. And my grandmother had a dream that my great-grandmother came to her and said that she's okay. She said, "Don't worry about me, I'm okay." And my grandmother, my grandma says when she woke up, it was like all that depression just went out the window.
Yeah.
So we're spiritual in that sense. And I can also tell when something's about to happen. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Like
intuition.
Intuition, or it's just like I have a sensitive spirit, so I can feel when something's not right.
Yeah.
I can even. It's so funny. I can think about a celebrity, like oh, out of the blue, like, oh, damn, she's still alive. And then all of a sudden they die.
Mm.
Like, when Prince, 4 days before he died, Prince had an overdose on a plane, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I was at work and I saw it on Facebook and I said, Prince probably gonna die.
Mm.
Then 4 days later, he was dead. I said, oh shit.
Mm. That's crazy.
I scared the
That's
hell out of me.
crazy.
I'm like, ooh. So, but yeah, I even had dreams. I had a dream I met him.
Yeah.
After he died.
Mm.
We was riding somewhere, and I was like, Prince, I know this is a dream because you dead. He said, so. Yeah, I had a dream I met him and Coretta Scott King after she died. I was at the nation capital, and I know this is her because she had on this pink suit.
Mm.
And I gave her a kiss on her cheek and she smiled and that was it.
Mm.
It's weird. I'm sharing a lot of stuff. But anyway, so I'm back to piggyback. So yeah, I'm very spiritual in that sense. So I might have like a sixth sense.
Mm.
And yeah, so yeah, I'm
Mm.
spiritual. I know shit. I can tell when you're not right, when your heart's not right, and I stay away from you. And I can tell when I just have a sensitive spirit.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To piggyback off what you were saying about I like seeing I guess people that pass.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I had an experience with my father.
Mm-hmm.
In college, I had broke up with a girlfriend I did for like 3 years, and so I was heartbroken and stuff. Whatever. It was really bad last year for me,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was really also depressed. And I really wanted to just leave and get away, like.
Mm-hmm.
And so then what ended up happening was I had a vision. The vision was this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked it up afterwards, and this actually is sign language for a father.
Mm-hmm.
So then cause my father was dead, and so what I did was I meditated and did this,
Mm-hmm.
and so what ended up happening was my father was talking to me, because he was in a similar situation. Because at the time I would kind of listen to him about running away from my mom, running away from family, running, and then killing himself as well. So I felt that he was like a coward.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he was talking to me, more so about relationships and running away from a relationship or something like that. And he was just kind of more so just explaining to me that, it's like heartbreak is bad, like it hurts,
Yes.
especially if it's the first one.
It's horrible, yeah.
And so you're gonna be very, very depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just explaining to me to just stay strong, you know what I'm saying, and God can get through it. Because I have a great support system, so don't run from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, took it. And after that, it was like I kind of had a better understanding of who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I have no resentment towards my father at all. Everything is good. And that's good because I had like a chip on my shoulder for some reason.
That's understandable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but pertaining to the heaven and hell thing, I believe it's more sort of a mind state sort of thing because, mind manifests the manner,
Mm-hmm.
3 of creation. And so if you're thinking positively in your mind all the time, you can create heaven. And so you know how they say go to your happy place?
Mm-hmm.
Your happy place is basically like your own version of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how people portray heaven in the books. They say it's like the perfect place for you. Because I watch Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Supernatural, they talk about heaven. They show heaven, and heaven is always every time they show someone's heaven, a version of heaven, it's always like a perfect event or something that they did repeatedly, and it's just perfect for them though. That's them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the same thing as you going to your own happy place in your mind. It's like, oh, this is the perfect place for me. And then when it comes to like thinking positively about stuff, it's like, well, it's like it's like doing things for you, like creating businesses or doing plays and stuff. You're thinking like it's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what I'm saying, because we always like want to have like positive thinking and positive talks about it, saying it's gonna be great. We're gonna work it out. Charlotte, the director, always like says like this is gonna be great.
I know she kind of get on my nerves when she does that though.
But it helps though, right?
It does help.
And that's the mindset that you need to have. You can create that.
That is true.
And the thing is, the people that think negatively about a lot of stuff, those are the people that's like, well, this isn't gonna work. That's not how it works. I don't know what you're doing. You look stupid. Do it, whatever. those are people that can easily turn things into a negative situation, creating hell.
That's true.
Because those are energies that we're creating.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So if we think about it that way, I mean, I'm not saying it has to be specifically heaven and hell, but if you think just like more of a positive mindset, you know what I'm saying, getting through it, because I'm currently in chiropractic school, and so there was a time in the summer, last summer, where it was a really heavy schedule for me. And so I had to keep my mind right the whole time. I had a lot of classes on my schedule. They were really like the hard classes. And so I had to tell myself to get through it daily though. I can't plan ahead. I had to plan day by day. So I would schedule I would study two subjects at a time a day. Nothing, don't overdo it. Just do that and keep moving. And do it day by day. I had a reminder for myself every day to do something different. And that's how I had to do it. Because if I was trying to think ahead, it would be too much. So I'd be like, man, I got that. I'm going on. But see, that's doing too much. So the best thing to do is just to take it day by day. And I got through it.
Well, yeah. Well, see, that's what with me, back to God. I just keep my faith in Him, and I know He's going to help me out. But, yeah, so I do keep my faith in Him. I know He's going to work it out for me. You know, I'm not the calmest person in the world. You probably know that by now.
Yep.
But anyway, you know, because I tend to overthink and, you know, get, but that's and it helps to have a common support system for you,
right,
and to help you out. But back to heaven and hell. That's why I was trying to make my point. People that I have dreams about, I believe are in heaven. Well, crap, I know you up there too, but I just haven't seen you yet. My cousin's seen them though. And people who I haven't dreamed. Okay, perfect example. There was a neighbor that lived across the street, right across the street from my grandparents' house. She died young, but she was beautiful, but she was a hellion. Like she did all kind. She was just evil. She would like harass people and everything. So she died. So I went to the mortuary to view her body, and it's not funny, but it's funny. I was looking at all the flowers. I saw nice flowers, beautiful flowers. Looked at her casket, beautiful casket, wonderful. But when I saw her, bro. It looked like the devil himself came and got her.
Oh, wow.
It was horrible. She was just like, I said, let me get the hell out of here. I was like, let me get the hell out of here. And I told my grandma, and she was like, damn. She said, you know what that means, right? I said, what? She went to hell. And she was like, it was literally no peace on that girl's face. No peace. And then you can kind of, because, well, you can't really tell from that, but the life that she lived, and she died a terrible death. Yeah. But it was just like, damn. Like, yeah, she's down under. Anyway, I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm just rambling.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, but I believe, and I used to watch videos about people dying and going to heaven and coming back, and I watched a couple of videos, and it's so interesting. Some of the things, one of the things they always talk about is colors. Like they say, heaven's full of beautiful colors, and then two people talked about how the grass was talking to them. Like everything was praising God. It's interesting because you know I'm skeptical. I was like, wait a minute, they watching nothing. Let me see what this person say.
Yeah, right.
So, and they mentioned animals walking around freely, like they could talk to the animals. I mean, more than one person said this, and like they were saying that Jesus, because if you see God, your ass is dead. They said Jesus is walking them around and everything, but man. Heaven got to be a place, because, bro, when you die, shit, I don't want to just be dark.
I mean, honestly, I feel like you really just wouldn't know.
No,
I don't really think you're. I don't think you'd be conscious if it happens. If like afterwards, I just think it's just like. It's just
no.
Well, I mean, either that or you become a baby again.
I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I'll be damned to come back and live this life again. Oh hell no! And I'll be damned if I'll be reincarnated. Oh hell no! Look. No, I have to go. I have to go up there. Damn. Shoot. But
I'm like, you sending me back?
No, don't send me back. I don't want to come back here.
I think I did enough. I think I'm done with that place.
Hell of enough. Yeah. I don't want to deal with those niggas no more. But no. But I'm telling you, bro, heaven is real. I'm telling you. When my grandmother had a stroke, she told me this recently. On my father's side. When she had a stroke, she felt like she was dying in the hospital. And she said her mother came to her and she told her, she said, not your time, go back, go back. Because my grandma said she was walking towards the light. And her mother stood right in front of her and she said, it's not your time, go back. And I said, grandma, and my grandma told me that when I was driving, I almost wrecked my car. I said, what? Yeah, so I believe heaven is real, bro. And I believe hell is real too, because demons are real. I believe demons are real, and heaven is real too. But you know, that's why you got to hold on to your faith, hold on to God. I hold on to God with every strength I have. I'm not perfect, bro, but that's like he's like the only thing that keeps me sane. Because you know, when you try to have a kind heart and a pure heart in this world, people are evil. You know, look how they did Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
You know, he was a pure, kind soul. He was rough around the edges, though. But they just killed him out of jealousy. And that man was trying to help people, bro.
He was doing such great things for his community.
But even his mother, see, that's the thing. Even his mother talked about spirituality. And talked about how they knew that death was coming in their family. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, like, bro, it's like, it's deeper than religion. When you got that relationship with God and the Spirit lets you know things. Like, they knew something was going to happen to somebody in their family. And the grandmother thought it was her. And when the mom found out that it was Nipsey, when she found out, she said herself, she said that's what it was. So, it's more than religion for some of us. It's a way of life, bro. Right. Way of life.
Well, thank you for this very deep discussion.
Miles Clarke. Thank you.
All right, everybody, don't forget to get your tickets for Sadie's Boys, May 4th and 5th at 3 p.m.
Yes.
At the
New American Theater in Hollywood. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite. Follow us, Darrell, or myself, Miles Clarke Actor, Instagram, Miles Clarke Facebook. And yeah, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be a very great play.
Thank you.